Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. Today we're going to do the great paper shuffle using Creative Memories organizers. We're going to have a look at some of the new products versus some of the older products they have already made and how they work in combination. Now, Creative Memories, they did come out with some new smaller organizers, but we're not going to discuss those today because we're doing paper. So Creative Memories, they like making your supplies available for you to work at home or to go out to events and activities. And they also like helping us with our coordinating of our products and our scrapbooking to make it easier by either sorting by theme or by color. And if you're a bit color compromised like me, it's always nice when they give you a helping hand. So let's go over some of their display totes and see what we can do to help you organize your activities to make you more productive. So starting with the large display pod, which has been currently available, versus the new large Creative Memories pod. You will notice that the display pod is taller and narrower than the new pod that has come out. This display pod will hold all your Power Project folders, it will hold albums, it will hold your power layout boxes. A lot of anything can just fit in this here, so you're ready to go. So why come out with a new pod? The existing pods that they made, they were originally for the Creative Memories advisors, and they designed those so that the advisors could take a display on the road. So what they did is they had the pod, you open it up, take the top off, and you flipped it over on its side, and it held anything that you may want to carry with you for having a traveling display show. So you can just store, tote, and display things all in once. But a lot of our customers kind of like these ones and the sizes, and we tended to use them at home as well. And other people wanted them, so Creative Memories came out with those for your use. For my home use, I use one of these display pods to sort and organize all my scraps for my different colored papers. So in here I will have any bits that I've cut out, all the smaller pieces, the mats, any longer pieces in the back, and I can keep my full sheets of cardstock on the inside, and they work just great. This does get kind of big, heavy, and awkward after a period of time. It's a bit unstable. Nice thing that Creative Memories did come out with the new little insert pods, which are designed to sit nicely inside these pods and help with the stabilization. Or you can take these pods, if you're sorting them by themes or anything else like this, and drop them into one of your rolling carts. Big and square, it will drop into a rolling cart. So no need to talk about dimensions on those. These insert pods, they will fit in the new large pod. They will also fit in the display pod, but it's not really necessary because these display pods have a built-in divider inside them. What else you can do with these new little insert pods and where you're going to put them, if you have one of the old CM tote bags to go to events, the pod will fit inside this one. This one you would have to put the pod in first and then kind of build the sides up around it. It's a bit of a tighter fit, but it does help stabilize the tool, and I like this bag because it also holds your 12-inch trimmer. So inside here, I fold this down, I set up my pod, pull my bag up, and then I have that extra stabilization so this bag is not falling over. This tool tote for your events. Again, this one also held a 12-inch trimmer. It has a wider base in the bottom and the front that your new pod will sit inside. So if I have something else sitting on my desk at home I'm working in, I want to go somewhere, I just pop that in and I'm all set. I don't have to grab things and sort things. I just keep them right inside there. And also on the back side, it will hold your power mailbox or your album or whatever else you're working on, some of your extra tools. You're all set. Include other things you can put in this little pod in just a moment. On to our next folder bag. Sometimes you see these on eBay or other locations. They are just great. They came with a extra reinforced shoulder pad because of the weight that they may get up to. They're very, very, very sturdy. They had a divider in the back to store some of your albums and other materials. But again, your little pods, they will fit right in the front, and actually they will hold two of the pods. So if I place one to the front, one to the back, when I bring my cover over the top, it does still fit down and zip up really nicely. So if you have one of these bags and you haven't been using them, add a pod, you're good to go again. So why do you need these little pods? I think CM saw me struggling and they said, let's help Sue out. A little while ago, I did make a video, and I will leave it up for a little bit if you want to have a good chuckle before I take it down. But I was struggling what to do when I work with themes and album projects, and I wanted to kind of keep those little palettes together. So I got one of the old CM secret boxes, and I put little sticky labels on them. This was a family pack it held my Dreaming, my Enchanted, my Gemstones, and I put all the paper packs in there, labeled them, and they sit nicely in my Calyx unit. I guess CM saw me struggling with this, and they said, let's help Sue out here and give her a little pod. So these ones here, way better than the box I had. They sit nicely. Two of them will fit on a Calyx unit with some extra room to hold some albums. And I can keep all my smaller themed items in here. If I do have a larger project theme, it won't fit in, unless these flop over quite a bit, they won't really fit in your Calyx unit unless you don't mind them bending back a little bit. But the nice thing with these ones here is you can work by your life categories. I have one here for family and activities, so all your birthday celebrations, graduations, baby boy, baby girl, anything you would do as a family thing, sparkle and shine, I can keep in here. I also am creating a second one. I've got my label to go in already for my seasons. So if I have things that are seasonal, where I do a lot of photos during different types of the years, I will keep a power palette folder going for those themes. And my third one for me is going to be more travel related, where I can keep my beach stuff, my travel stuff, my camping stuff, my cycle touring stuff all together in that theme binder, because sometimes I do those with my family, sometimes solo, sometimes with other activity groups. But I can take those inside folders and switch them in and out as I see fit. So these will be great. They can sit on my desktop, in my Calyx unit, or if I'm going somewhere, drop them into one of my bags to go. So now that I know I'm going to be using one of my smaller pod inserts, let's work with the inside of this insert. Again, I told you that your larger power project folders that contains your whole theme will fit nicely inside one of those. These larger power pocket folders are great for keeping your collections together. In this one case, I have the Tropic Time. It will have my embellishments, my matte packs, my laser cut borders would go there if I didn't use them already. My stickers in the back, and my paper inserts, my paper packs on the inside. Also in the inside here, I've inserted the other new item, the Power Palette Simple Sleeves. And what these are a separate little folder that opens from the top down, which is really nice. And in here I'm keeping my cardstock. So in the new Creative Memories catalog, with all your collections, they give you all the coordinating colors of cardstock that will go with that collection. So rather than carrying a whole bin of cardstock if I'm going to an activity, I can easily put the coordinating cardstock for that collection in one of these sleeves and insert it into my Power Project folder. And as I cut my cardstock down to smaller sizes, they're really easy to get at because the small pieces are in the front. So perfect for that. Also in the new Creative Memories catalog, at the back of the catalog, it is also discussed all the past collections that Creative Memories has made and all the coordinating collections that they work with. So if you have one of the old boho papers and I'm finished with the collection's very, very small, I'm going to swap it out for something else, I'm removing these tags and swapping them for a new tag, I can take one of the old boho papers. They may be printed on the one side, which may not coordinate with the new collection, but whenever they do one of the designer papers, on the back side it's always a simple print or something very generic that will work within the color palette of that collection. So anything from the old boho collection, if I have any papers that are left, they can easily slide within the Tropic Time collection, so it gives me more options and variety within that collection. So everything is all together. Your Power Palette simple sleeves can also be used if you want to store paper packs individually. And these are going to come in handy. They will sit nicely inside either your large display tote or inside your large pod tote. And they can just stay nice and coordinated by color. The unfortunate part about these ones in that terms of that is as you put the label on for the different color pack it is, whether it's the new purple ice or tangerine, once this is labeled, you can't really change it again because it doesn't have a sliding insert, but you can always put a sticky note over the top to use it again and again. These pockets are very, very sturdy and they will be very handy. An alternative to these simple sleeves, a little bit more economical, may be to use some of your fill and file sleeves, the ones that come in the 12 by 12 size. So they will store and hold your paper packs nicely. You're not going to be wrestling with the top of the bag and bending corners as you try and get in and out of the plastic bags that they come in. And once they prop in here, you can label it with a sticky label or just a piece of paper with a piece of Scotch tape over the top, and you can be swapped out and it'll hold everything together. On the back side of these sleeves, you can also, as you cut down your paper, you can store your smaller paper sizes in the back. These will fit inside your Power Project folders or inside one of your small inserts directly. Alternatively, if you're going to an activity, you can take the sleeve if you're just using a smaller project or a theme and insert it into your sort binder. As well, your fill and file sleeves that do go in the sort binder, it will also hold your 6x12s, which will hold your stickers if you have very generic ones that don't go with any other major theme if you're using word titles. It will also hold your 5x5 pockets, which will hold your old ABC stickers if you remember those. And it will hold your 2.5 by 11 size ones, which will hold all your laser cuts. And as I said, you can always add your 12 by 12 in the front and you're all set to go. So you can look for your Power Sort binder, your fill and file sleeves in the various sizes to go in, or use your Power Project folders, or your Power Simple sleeves to coordinate everything together. On a final note with the fill and file sleeves, if you do own a fuse tool, I have used my fuse tool with my fill and file 12-inch pockets to create little pockets for my custom cutting system. So now I can insert these into my binder or drop them into a pod if I'm going somewhere, and they'll hold the cutting templates on the front, and the back side will hold the corresponding template guide for that tool. One final organizational tip is if you are using your Power Project folders to organize your scraps, with your long pieces in the back, your mats, your other pieces, your large pieces on the inside, and you're working them inside your folder. Sometimes as you're sliding them in, they may catch a little bit on the front side. My tool for that one is to take one of your Power Layout Guide sleeves and slide them in front of the folder that you're working with, and then it'll just drop in really nice and easily and nothing will catch. Then I can take this sleeve, insert it in the front of my box again, so it's always handy to be used the next time I want to add a package to my box. My goal itself is to try get my colors, my cut pieces, down to just my basic colors, my blacks, browns, and whites in the front, and all the other color ones, because I have that catalog in the back of my CM catalog now. All the smaller pieces, as I cut them down, my reds and my blues, rather than being randomly in one of these folders where I have to kind of guess if the color matches, I can automatically move them to the current collection. So it's less stuff to grab when I go out to an activity. These are some of the goals that I have with my personal organization. I hope these ideas help you. If you have anything else you come up with that you want to share, just do so in the comments. We all get better by sharing our ideas. Thanks very much for tuning in. Subscribe if you like my videos, and we'll see you in the next one.